All right, all right, all right.
All right.
Hey, y'all, it's your boy,
Hey, y'all.
Eric,
And it's your girl, Elaine.
EricandElaine.com. Look, we talking about what you better do for your spouse, right? This is a couple of things that you better do
Is this how
for
you
your
want to start
spouse.
off? This how you want to start off the season?
Start off with some mess, huh?
Messy being messy.
I'm being messy. It'll be messy. It
Messy.
ain't all. It ain't all like that. Look, it's been a little bit. If you're new to the channel and to our live stream, because it's been a little bit since we live streamed. Been working, y'all. We've been working, y'all.
Getting it in.
We working with couples, getting it in, right? So, but yeah. So if you into all things relationship, healthy relationship, you're trying to build a legacy. This is the channel for you.
Absolutely, because we believe in creating a positive
relationship
culture within our communities. So that means everywhere, because
yes,
our communities start with an individual that extends to relationships as couples,
hands down.
then the children's,
all the cheering,
right? Your community, your neighborhood, and that extends to the world.
Hands down. Because truth be told, everybody's, well, on the Western Hemisphere, my driveway ends at yours. Yes. All right. No one's in a silo.
That's true.
All right. Well, so we're glad to be back.
So if you are, I'm putting my lookers on. You see me?
Yeah, you get good. Pause and applause. She ain't faking the funk. Yes.
I am accepting that I am needing a little assistance.
A little?
In the vision area.
In the vision area?
In the vision area. But it's all good. It's all good. I earned this.
Hands down.
Right?
Hands down. So listen, welcome. Hit it in the chat. I want to know what y'all think. What you better do.
First of all,
for your spouse.
That's Eric being messy, y'all. Y'all know how this go. Y'all know I'm the.
Oh, you the sweet one. You the sweet. Good cop, bad cop.
But yeah. So come on in if you are, of course, at all. At any point in your relationship. The topic that we're talking about today is, for those who've been married for months or married for decades.
Or even single people who want to be married. Things that you gonna want to know. These are things. It's simple. Okay, I'm tripping. Okay, it's simple, y'all. It's 3 things that we're gonna talk about. Simple things that you can do, that you need to do for your spouse.
Yeah, simple, but we complicate stuff, don't we?
Overcomplicate.
We really do, y'all. We complicate life, we complicate relationships, and because I often say, relationships are easy. People are complicated. It's us. It's hey, look in the mirror,
my,
and say, it's me, right? I can make it complicated. I was about to say comfortable, but we can't get comfortable in our.
Yeah, sometimes get a little comfortable. You get in a rut. You get in a little rut.
Right.
I remember that was a while when I used to cut my hair like religiously. I mean, it was. I had a lady, the apartment complex we lived in. Mom and I. That was a lady saying, "I'm going way back. I'm going way back." The lady said she'd never seen my car dirty and never seen me needing a haircut. Because I kept a clean cut. I was cutting my hair. I had the 3-fold, and I was working so much, ain't had no time to go to no barber shop. But people couldn't tell. The folks like, you live at the barber shop.
Right.
Sure do. I live at the barber shop.
Yeah. But that's that's not okay. That's
no.
That's the thing you were.
But that was one of the things that I recognized that when we got married, kind of got lax a little bit, needed an edge up every now and again. So you remember that? We was on our second baby. I was working night shift.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't remember?
I don't remember that because I would have said something.
It wasn't terrible. Okay, it wasn't. No, I didn't look. I didn't look a mess.
Right.
But my standard, I was below my standard.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was below my standard.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was a little sideways in my head.
Your care.
Yeah, my personal care.
Yeah. And some of that is what we're talking about, with this topic today, right? How do we, take this into consideration? We're talking about things that we better do, as Eric said, right? That we should be doing for our spouse. And, I think establishing healthy patterns and behaviors and boundaries can be done early on. It's best to be done early on in the marriage.
Yeah, and even before you get married.
Before, I was going to say
have these boundaries. You talk about your core values.
Yeah, you don't talk about. And so you go into the marriage and you have these expectations and they don't get met, or they are certain things that are done. But if people have, as a people, right? If we don't have boundaries, we end up being really disappointed.
Because your expectations are a certain way, are you considering, or you've lived out your marriage in your mind without consulting your partner. You just, you have this whole thought process, this whole thing of how it's going to be and so on and so forth, and then consult the other players, kind of like the Will Smith thing.
That's good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kind of like the Will Smith.
Yeah, sure.
So what's the first thing, Lane? What's the first thing?
Well,
we need to do, which is counterintuitive to how I put this out here.
I told y'all
it's a man's world.
It's him.
And since Beyonce is out tonight, all these cars out here can't go nowhere.
Because we live minutes, y'all know.
Yeah.
From all that.
So who run the world, girls? Who run the world?
There you go, be a mess.
So this is gonna be total. This is gonna shift a whole 180.
Yeah.
So the first thing is what?
So we want to really take notice that many things can prevent us in our relationships and having that connection, because notice that we've always talked about connection, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of the things topics that we've gone over the course of the last few months. And so there are things that can prevent us from really being connected. And it could be, anything from, work schedules, it could be, our hobbies, our family, our friends.
Oh, but how about the couples with the young kids?
That's what I was going to say. Them little people.
Yeah, them little people got
they're so
football
cute.
Practice. And I saw all the way through high school, band practice and all this other kind of stuff. School is going on. Band practice? Yeah, baby. With your homeschool set.
Listen, used to, our kids participated in many things like that.
But y'all was all during the day.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I was all over the place. I don't know why we even called it homeschool. It was street school. They had street school.
And let's not even talk about the little people. Well, let's talk about the big people too, because the big people can prevent, our connections too. But one of the first things that we want to talk about is that we better do, or we really need to do for our spouse, is take care of ourselves.
Take care of yourself.
Take care of you.
Now, we're not talking about, and we're going to visit this again, and this is all behind Beyonce. One of my favorite songs is Cater to You.
Why is that?
Now, I don't listen to, I'm not in no Beehive and all that other kind of stuff.
You're not
because, from their bugaboo days, then they go to Cater to You. I was like, man, that's the stuff that we need. I'm about healthy relationship. I'm about love music and stuff like that. We need that. We need those things as an anchor. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that in religious communities that don't listen to certain things like love music, they wonder why their your divorce rate is so high. You have nothing to repair. Y'all don't know how to repair.
Yeah.
Even though y'all say forgive, whether or not you actually go through the forgiving process.
Because there is
and set the boundaries. Yes, it's a process.
It's a process to forgiveness.
Yeah. So if you're not getting there,
Mm-hmm.
you don't, if you don't have something that to remind you as an anchor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We have an anchor. We got plenty of music on anchoring us. I love Jonathan McReynolds, anchoring us for our spiritual well-being.
Yeah.
However, we gotta, work with this horizontal relationship
Absolutely.
as well.
Yeah. And so, one of the things that I think about when it talks about, self-care, what do you think? It's like, being authentic, right?
Being true.
Yeah, being true to you. Being true to yourself and doing the things that you enjoy doing.
Hands down.
Right. So
self-care is key.
It's key, and it's not selfish.
Yeah, and it's not that you, because sometimes we think of self-care as I'm preparing right now a self-care presentation. We think of this as something that I have to go and do, and it is that, but it's also something that I can practice on a regular basis.
Yes.
Some of us don't use calendars. That'll keep your mind clear. If you use a calendar, write it down, put your stuff, put your stuff in order, and you put in your self-care, your small things, these small things that you can do to help you take care of yourself. So I was going to say, it wasn't like Beyonce saying, promoting that expectation that I'm going to keep myself up and cater to you.
I was like, some of that in that song is a little toxic.
Yeah, I don't like that whole thing about
everything is about. I mean, there's some parts in it that's
like
that's toxic. Like everything. When you place everything to the point of everything, I'm going to get. I'm trying to think of one of the verses that it talks about. It's slipping my mind, but
that's the only one that I think was really toxic.
Which one?
Was the fact that I'm going to keep myself up like I was before.
Absolutely. That's one, but you're also not a woman. So there's another piece in there. Pull up the lyrics. Pull up the lyrics.
On my phone there. I need to pull up the lyrics.
But there's some
cater to you.
Because if we look at it, there are certain things that and we're going to talk about some of that in this, as we go further.
Because some of
into what our topic is, right? We're going to talk about some of these expectations.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Shall we move
forward? No, wait a minute. What about so in this self-care, being authentic.
All right. Absolutely.
Being real.
Yeah, prioritizing you.
Right.
Right. And making sure that you're fulfilled. Right. Like, so some of the things that
your tank is full because you can't feel nobody else's tank.
Absolutely.
But in case you, she said she saw him. She saw, I see everything that you do, and I'm here to support you. And the last piece that we say you better do in your relationship, I ain't gonna spoil it yet. She mentions that in there, but that's the only thing that I feel like as a woman. As a man too, our bodies change. I'm saying for women. Let me say I'm not saying I'm a woman.
I'm looking like, wait a minute.
Well, you know better.
I do.
5 times over.
I do.
So one of the things that our bodies change.
Absolutely.
My favorite song from Music Soul Child is "As Long as Your Love Don't Change." He said, "Your hair gonna get a little gray. I'm still waiting." How many you got? How many? I thought I saw one. Where is it? I seen. Okay, there it is, right there in the edit.
Don't hate.
I'm just saying.
Don't hate. You look at it's like a needle in a
I'm just saying.
Don't hate.
Anyway. So.
But yeah. So and pull up the lyrics.
I'm pulling up the lyrics.
But let's go further. So if we go further, we'll get more, get more details on that.
Come on.
But really living authentically, right? Being true to the things that you enjoy doing. We talk about some of us and how, we're different. We enjoy different things in our downtime, right? That we consider, like this is what I love to do. It's funny. He sent me a TikTok the other day and I chuckled because it was, what was it? Something, it was like this couple was in this, it was a little bitty itsy wincy, teeny tiny slither of a boat out on the waters. They don't have on life jackets, but you know that's all for the camera. First of all, let me just speak on that. But anyway, they're in this little slither of a boat, canoe. I can't even say it's a canoe. What was funny was the comments. People were saying that looked like a little Tupperware bowl.
But that allows you to see and be immersed into the ocean. And it was above the water. The brim was above the water.
Ocean.
Yes, and that turquoise water, and you can see everything underneath you, y'all.
I don't want to see.
You can see everything underneath you. But you don't want to see Nessie come
I don't want to see Nessie come from. No, I want Nessie to just have at it and take me out because I don't want to see her coming. What am I gonna do?
You gonna pray and she gonna leave. I thought you had faith.
It's gonna be too late to pray by the time Nessie comes, anyways. But there's a little slither of a boat, right? And the difference between us, the two of us, is I choke up because I said, it's funny that he enjoys things that deal with water. I enjoy things that deal with air. So I'm enthused with jumping out of planes, helicopter rides, something like that, Him.
I know what I can do on the ground. I don't know what I'm gonna do. If I was supposed, he gave me hands to be able to swim. He didn't give me no wings to be up in the air.
But there are things that can assist you.
Yeah, but you're talking about jumping out of the stuff that's assisting.
But there are things that can assist you in where
falling?
You don't plunge. That it's,
so
it's called falling with style.
Okay. Buzz it like you. No, babe. So
the differences.
The differences.
We're different. So, but the key is to have those times where you allow one another to be different and to care for each other.
Hands
right.
down.
He likes speed. I like speed too, but I like speed with things around me. And so, but however, I will get into his world. Yeah, I love roller coasters. And I'm still waiting on that to be done.
But you said,
but you know what? We ain't gonna make this fight. We're gonna make this fight a part of this.
It's not gonna be a fight.
But he thinks that just because Astroworld has left Houston that he's free on that. I need, when y'all see this, please leave a comment as to where we can go for a good roller coaster because he owes me.
I rode a roller coaster at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and it flung me from here to yonder. And I'm like, hey, that should suffice,
y'all. So it was not a roller coaster. This I can't even call it a ride.
Hey.
It was a booster seat that sat you against a wall, and it took you while you stayed on the wall, and it took you around in a circle.
And it was throwing you over here.
It was not throwing you. It was doing just like this.
And it was going fast. It was going real fast. I felt myself every time I went to either side. It felt like I was going to be through out. Either way, I just felt like I was going to be good. So, okay, I got the lyrics. So you saying, I think the toxic part you was talking about.
Come on, tell me what I'm talking about. Because now you see.
My life is purposeless without you. Yeah, I get that. That sounds good. And that's not. That should be used. It should be interdependent, not codependent.
Okay, so that's all I'm saying.
That's the only two things. The whole thing about her keeping herself like she was when she was in her 20s, and she's now 36, 38. And
let me as a woman. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. And why are we doing this? Why?
Because we want to make sure the understanding is there.
Absolutely.
Definitely to go take care of yourself. If your self-care is jumping out of an airplane, so be it. Your self-care is riding a motorcycle.
Or at least do I fly, something like that.
I fly, song on the ground.
Do it. Yes.
Do it.
I love bungee jumping and
you ain't gonna get me to do that either.
Yeah, I that's me. But he likes speed and such like that. Okay, yeah. We've
so
got.
You can't find that.
No. Oh, well, you said
so
enough.
I'm going to carry on.
As if what you already said was not enough, right? And trust me, I have no qualms about cater to you because I cater. However, we're going to talk about as we move forward in, here we go. Yeah, I'm going to fulfill your mind, body, and spirit. I promise you.
Okay, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, that's not something. Realistic expectations. Have some realistic expectations. You don't be trying to, you're talking about you going to fulfill all that. Now, something I did like that Will Smith said, he said, I'm resigning from trying to make you happy. I'm not responsible for your happiness, Jada.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that is true. That is totally
Let me go on.
True. Okay.
I promise you, first of all, I'll keep myself up. I'll remain the same chick you fell in love with. Toxic. We tell couples, we teach these principles. Don't expect for your spouse to stay the same. Change is inevitable.
Change is good.
And change is good. Better. You should be getting better. And so to say, I'm going to remain the same chick you fell in love with, it's cute, but it's not realistic.
Yeah, you ain't the same chick.
I'm not.
You're not. You're totally not the chick I fell in love with.
And neither are you. You're better.
That's it.
Because you're going to be in your life. Let me go.
I couldn't just be.
Okay. I'll keep it tight. I'll keep my figure right.
See, that's the part I'm talking about.
I'll keep my hair fixed. Keep rocking the hottest outfits. Like,
yeah, that's surface.
It is.
Yeah.
And so we want to, and I'm not gonna. Again, I love.
And I mentioned that. So
I love that. You mentioned that one, but you come on now. You know good and well that what we've already covered is very.
Okay.
It's quite toxic. Ooh. Hold on. I want to give you my breath. My strength.
You're supposed to be listening to the music at that point.
My will to be here.
I said no, it's not. That whole thing about my life is purposeless.
Should I rest my face?
And some of that is in there. So yes, those are unrealistic expectations to be able to do that. They just sound good. That's just ear candy, baby. That's just ear candy.
But that's not what you said.
I'm saying
that's not what you said. You argued me down that this song was your favorite because there was nothing toxic about it.
No, I didn't say it was nothing toxic.
Except the one thing that you brought up. But however, I think I'm on number 4.
And no, that's not. Those are all the same thought. The same like stanza piece.
No, it is not.
Okay, so I'm not saying lower your expectations of any sort, but it's something that Norman Vincent Peale talked about. He talked about give much, expect little, and the power of positive thinking. Understand that people have limitations. Your partner is going to have limitations.
Yes. And that's where we're going next. Number 2. Are we ready to move forward?
Yeah, I done already put it up there.
All right, so
I done already touched on it 2-3 times already.
But yeah, so you're right. And listen, maintaining a healthy love relationship, it's the absolute strongest influence that we can have within our relationship that is on happiness and longevity. Now, I agree. We cannot make each other happy.
No.
But there are some things that there's an inner joy, but there's also some things that should be happening externally, right? That keeps us alive and keeps us where we are. There's a happy that's okay. There's a piece of happy. Like, I don't want to just be, I got joy down in my soul. I'm just struggling through this, but I got joy. It's on the inside. You can't see it on the outside, but it's all up in here. No, but there is a happy, right, that we should have, but it's not being able to make someone happy.
No. I mean, because I'm telling you, if you sow these 3 things in your partner's life, if you do these things, and the first one started with you, self-care, you being able to be okay with you. You're not stressed and all this other stuff. And then you're taking the time and looking at your expectations and not having too high expectations, expecting them to know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Ladies, a
Read
man don't know what you thinking. Yeah. And if he say he ain't thinking about nothing, he ain't thinking about nothing. Leave him alone.
But that is so true, because you know what? You know, so many times when we are, when we have these unrealistic expectations of each other, it really causes stress in the marriage, right?
Hands down.
It can cause for, you know, there to be just a point where it's unnecessary baggage that a person can walk around trying to carry in the relationship, because it's just too much, right? And I think, you know, about, you know, there was an article that talked about a highly distressed marriage. It really gives the immune system a hit.
We talking about even physiology.
Yes, and it takes. Here's the thing: it takes away 9 years off of your lifespan. That's even 2 more years than smoking. What statistics and research proves, right? So we got to look at distress in the marriage. It's just not healthy.
Hands down,
it's not healthy. And so
and behind expectations
that's just not realistic.
Not realistic. Listen, if you done made it this far in this video, go ahead and smash that like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the Facebook. Also, share it. Share it with somebody that might need it.
Yeah.
Right?
They can leave a comment.
Yeah, hands down.
Let us know what they think about some of these.
Some things that you better do.
Yeah, what they think about this cater to you song. But what are some of the, you know, some of the things that we look at that are examples of putting expectations that are unrealistic on somebody? Remember those accusatory generalities? Yeah,
you never pay attention to me.
Yeah.
You know, you always, you know, leave your socks on the floor.
Yeah, yeah. And so that, you know, those are emotional needs that we actually have, where people, we're putting the pressure on them, on one another, right? And like you said, to do something, to perform in a way that will make me feel worthy, make me feel happy, make me feel right, like I'm needed and I'm wanted. And those are some of the things. And one of the problems with that is that when we don't know ourselves what we want or need.
Hands down.
Right? Sometimes we can find ourselves having expectations when they're unrealistic. We'll find ourselves, we have certain expectations that we don't even know how to identify ourselves.
Right.
You know, and so there's a difference in being highly disappointed than, you know, having just unrealistic expectations. Right. So we can, you know, there are certain things that in marriage, I'm sure that I have disappointed you maybe once or twice.
In 28 years.
Okay, 3. But but yeah, so I mean, but really, you know, we have areas that both of us have been really disappointed in each other. And so, but that difference between, you know, just it being highly disappointed in how you have or have not, you know, fulfilled a certain want that I've had, or vice versa, me to you, you know, it's still an area that where we're putting a large amount of pressure on the relationship. We're putting pressure on each other to satisfy those areas.
I mean, especially if it's something that cannot.
Yeah.
Can't nobody make you happy. Hands down.
Yeah.
You Abraham Lincoln say people are about as happy as they choose to be.
Yeah. And I think too, we have to look at where the patterns are, right? Because we talk a lot about how those patterns in relationships, you know, the negative patterns, they're there and we can have these negative negative patterns within the relationship, negative patterns of belief, negative patterns of how we act out when we're disappointed. This is where it gets really unhealthy, and it could stem from previous relationships.
Yeah.
You know, certain things that have happened, you know, even when we were in our earlier years from our families of origin. We've had certain levels of disappointment. We've talked about even with there's something that's called when our daughter had us to read the book, and it's a great book that talks about It Didn't Start With You.
Yeah.
That really goes into looking at those layers that are looking at the epigenetic tags, right? And looking at those areas that we ourselves may be victims of not getting the care that we needed, not getting the nurturing that we needed, that we wanted as children, not getting the guidance. Do you know that children who they talked about how we, like, as children, we like discipline. We don't, and nobody wakes up saying,
nah,
you know, I want to be disciplined.
No,
I don't know what.
But I'm telling you, I just took on that. Yeah. But no, I had a relative. I remember when she used to come over to our house, and my sister would keep her, and this girl would run to her, and you know, my sister would discipline her, and I would lick her wounds. You know, I'll be, oh, it's okay, you know, because I'm the good cousin, right? And man, I tell you, every time we go, whenever she get there, she run to the person that would straighten her out, that would discipline her, not the one that was her buddy old pal.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and that's a great example.
Yeah, yeah. So cool beans. So our next thing.
So the last one.
You better pursue them.
Yeah.
Let them know they want it. There's nobody on the planet don't want to know that they are wanted.
It's a human need. It's a top human need.
Hands down.
To want to know that you are your value, right? And that your existence matters. Nobody wants to think about, you have so many, and the suicide rates, you guys, are we know that they are at alarming rates, and there are different reasons why. But again, how can we make sure that we're valuing one another? And that, there are times when, I need encouragement.
Hands down.
There's times when you need encouragement.
Hands down.
And to be able to notice that. And, I did a video several years ago that I posted on Facebook, and it was, I see you. And
like in Cater to You, the first stanza, they start the song with that. All right. So look, so you can never stop dating.
Never stop
you
dating.
Never stop dating.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go back to that part you just said, real quick though. Said about paying attention to your partner. If you taking care of yourself, you good. And you can recognize certain things from your partner.
That's good.
Right? You can recognize certain stuff.
Hey, mama.
What's up, beautiful?
Hello, mama.
Yes, ma'am. But yeah, you can have the time to recognize your spouse. One thing. So I'm an extrovert, Lane's introvert. Primary, yeah, she's a situational extrovert. But her people meter goes to 100 real quick.
Yes, and then I want to get rid of everybody.
Sometimes she can just be, she can be in here, and I'm like, I need you to come out. Let's go. We got to get out. We got to get out, or whatnot. Because I'm not imposing my self-care needs, but I want her to take care of herself too, and she needs some vitamin D.
Yes, you are. You are imposing.
No, I ain't imposing.
Yes, you are.
That's what your flesh is telling.
Really? So now you're telling me what? That's so toxic. I'm gonna have to ban you from that song.
You.
I'm banning that song.
This is your day. I need your breath, man.
Yes. Oh, you got it. But wait a minute. No, that's the toxic part. So no,
That
no.
is the toxic
that's
part.
the toxic part. But really, yeah, one of the things is like what you're saying, continue to pursue one another. And another one is to stay curious.
Yeah.
Right? Stay curious in really watching and taking note of what it is that you need.
Right.
Taking note what it is that your family needs.
Right.
What as a couple, what is it that's needed, right, from my husband. Like I'm paying attention and I'm staying curious as to what is changing, because again, we should not stay the same.
So Elaine, and this kind of go into this next point, but it supports that, and staying curious. Elaine is working with us on our food intake and so on and so forth, and cleansing and detoxing and renewing and all this other stuff. And so in that, I'm always wondering what's the next meal that she gonna come out with, because I was born a carnivore. You hear me? I was born in the great country of Texas, and we eat meat down here. So some of these things are less, it's less meat, and I'm all about flavor and everything. And she has been knocking it out the box, and I remember to praise her for that, right? So I'm always, wanting to know more about what is, what you're looking at, where you coming from with this stuff. Tell me about this. Watching the YouTube videos with these folks talking about this stuff. So it's creating that time, and that goes into the setting the goals together.
Absolutely, setting goals together. Because again, so when the thought hit me. Because for those who know me and know my the loss that I suffered in 2019 of one of my closest sisters, and of course growing up without my mother, one of the persons that everybody knows that you feel like knows and loves you the most. And so it really started dawning on me, especially when we hit that. Can I say it?
No, don't say it. Riddle.
50 mark.
50.
When we hit upwards of 50, right? I just, I really started looking at different things. And so for me, it was a personal thing, but I didn't keep it personal. Because, of course, I know what I wanted to do, but I made it something that was for our family, right? I'm going to make these meals for us. I'm going to get, shop differently for us. And so I included, my husband, I included my children, because it's something that we all can do together. So creating those goals for the family, creating those goals for your relationship, just like Eric, wants to get out and walk, and he, and I love walking too. I just don't want to get up before dawn.
Get it in.
Can we just choose a better time?
I don't get it in, girl. Why
that's my thing. I would walk all day. I was Dominique and my sister. We used to, fast-paced walk, race, and I would always win. I love that, but I just don't want to get up at 6 a.m.
When it's 95 degrees in the morning.
Listen, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, but we both, we're striving, right, to do better. And so we include one another in the efforts, and even if, he still chooses the time of day that is not conducive for, then we just kind of do this stuff. And I do, and so I get in where I fit in, and I do other things, where, now, so our daughters used to do our laundry and everything. And so what I've started doing, whether you have known this or not, was I was
gonna wreak havoc.
Yeah, no, I've started like, as if they weren't here. right? Because it's me and you.
Yeah.
They're not the little girls anymore. So I have, said, okay, you know what? This is what I can do. And this is a way that I even get exercise myself. Those stairs, y'all, listen, if you got stairs in your house, there's a YouTuber, and I cannot remember who she is, but she says there's no excuse that if you have stairs, there's even in apartments, like just take your laundry, go up and down the stairs. Like there are ways that we can do certain exercises and get what we need,
hands down,
to meet those goals. We don't have to just get the goals done for exercise. Like I'm at the gym and I'm sweating and I'm on this one little, thing or whatever.
That's why I didn't walk today. We didn't go walking today because I did the yard today.
You did.
So that was my exercise for the day.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we on the same,
we're on the same page.
Same page.
And so we do those things together, right?
Yeah.
And then, I think one of the things, what are you about friendship?
Yeah, friendship hands down. Like we got these rituals. Now what's interesting, y'all, is some of these can get you in trouble.
What?
So if y'all have a particular thing you like to watch together, don't watch it. Don't sneak and watch, because you will be found out.
No, don't do it.
This is about being friends, and not, frenemies.
Because you agreed. That was your thing together.
Mm-hmm.
Together.
Mm-hmm. But if you talking to somebody, if you got, you still working, because you got a client and the remote is calling my name.
It's so much to watch.
During the time, but during the time,
there's so many other things, there's so many other channels. Find a YouTube, find a TikTok, find something. Entertain yourself. Something in it. Keep yourself busy.
Even though,
but don't.
You and your client go a little long.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't.
Okay. All right. trying to stay sane. So speaking of that,
yes,
clients, seek some coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, and coaching ain't always just about, you're in a bad way, you're in a bad situation. We have a wonderful community that we're building, where it's like-minded individuals that want to promote and be a part of a positive relationship culture.
And are really committed to starting in their home.
In their homes, first and foremost.
We love that.
Creating that environment where we're not only together, but their children, so we do children outings with the children. So look, that's basically it, you guys. I want to transition into some announcements that we're about to make. Listen, if you need whatever your coaching needs are, give us a call. We'd be glad to work with you. We you get both. I know sometimes guys, you go to to your counselor or whatnot, and they female, that you feel like you're being attacked, you feel like you're being, you're the bad guy, feel like they're biased. We eliminate all of that, and the same for women.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're told over and over again. By clients who say, hey, we saw you guys and you guys work together. That's phenomenal. And so that's one of the things that intrigues people. Won't get biased, information here. So it's definitely a worthy, of course, it's a worthy venture that you want to take for your relationship.
Hands down. We're coming into Domestic Violence Month. Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We're going to be talking about domestic violence awareness all October. We're going to talk about those things. We're going to talk about
just healthy relationships, how to keep your relationship up, right? So
that we're not dealing with that.
Yeah.
We recently had a situation where a young lady got hit with a brick, and it's like, okay. Somebody, nobody is here in Houston. Yeah. Nobody said anything. So these are things that need to be talked about, need to be out there, and develop that sense of community to be able to curtail some of these violent acts, especially the things that have happened in the pandemic. So with that, we got me to we, your money, learn your money.
Yes, but let's get excited about
your money attitude.
Yeah.
Before y'all go and spend all that money for the holidays. So before you go and spend all that money, pay yourself first. But we're gonna look at some different things. It's more than just talking about financial literacy. No, it's more than that. It is how you building your legacy. We got the vision development coming up. That's going to be right before Martin Luther King's day. He said he had a dream. Well, do you have a dream? Do you have a vision? Right? And the best thing that you can start off the new year is having a vision, having a written plan. We have one, and I'm telling you, it's a blessing to look at it and you see where you had to make adjustments and see where you had to see what you have accomplished, everything that you've done. Yes, it is.
And you see where hey, this is where we need to place focus.
Hands down, right there. So those things are coming up. Stay tuned. Look, book yourself a consultation. Don't cost you a ton of money. See what you can work, because we're changing things to subscription based, and we're doing monthly some monthly, not gatherings, but monthly trainings. If you're thinking about getting married, if you're seriously dating, you're thinking about marriage, we got the premarital, the on-demand premarital that is at your leisure. But we're going to do a premarital, a live premarital, in-person premarital rather, and the in-person premarital, you get $60 off your marriage license and so on and so forth. So if you're serious about it, you're planning to get it done and come over on this side, this side, guys, don't be afraid of marriage, because married men are more wealthy. Yes, and they're more healthy. Yes. And yes. Yeah. Now that's when you get a good one, right? That's when you get a magnificent, a lovely. Okay, I might turn off the camera. All right. Look. Yeah. So I love to talk about the Millionaire Next Door. I think it is. That's talked about the most deca millionaires that are asset millionaires. They say that the reason they are millionaires, that they have such success financially, is because their choice in spouse. Men, I know everybody out here trying to get the bag, all this hustle culture going on, but what is it? And your house ain't together, right? And you can do it better together. Talk to me now. All right. So look, is that everything? So those, let's just recap. So the first an hour, huh? Yeah. I'm just trying to recap. Because they're gonna give us what theirs were. Okay. Things that your spouse better do for you. So
yeah, that's Eric telling y'all what you better do. I ain't trying to come off like that. So, third ward.
On the good side.
On the good side. Next up to the wash chair. Okay, I know how that can come off. Okay. So somebody want to meet you on the boulevard.
Right. Don't meet nobody on the boulevard. They don't fight. So, but take care of yourself. Keep your expectations realistic, right? And then you are going to continuously pursue your partner. All right? Is that it, Lane?
That's it.
Look, we glad that y'all stepped in. Mama stepped in, and a couple of others that stepped in.
Yes.
To view it with us, to spend some time with us today. It's been a little while, but look, we will talk to you all later. See you all in the next video.
Peace
and multiply blessings.